Good morning, Dyson. Welcome to our English lesson for today. Okay, screen share, Miss Walker. There we go. Okay, today we are going to be writing the beginning of the story. Now, usually this is where we'd be doing our hot task, and I'd be asking you to do a big piece of writing all on your own. We're going to do it slightly differently, and we're going to write the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, but I do want you to do it on your own. So please, 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 parents, do not help with any spellings or anything. You're going to use your Fred Talk and you're going to use your sound mat to help you out, okay? Right, can I write the beginning of the story? Fantastic. Okay. First things first, though, we're going to recap a few words that are in our story. We're going to recap a few sounds and a few tricky red words. And then we're going to write a couple of sentences together before you write the rest of the story, okay? So let's recap some words first. Trouble, trouble. What does trouble mean? Can you tell me? Fantastic. Trouble is when you're being told off, you've done something naughty. So Jack in our story was in trouble, wasn't he, when he came back with the beans and his mum told him off. Okay, beanstalk. Beanstalk. And a beanstalk is our bean that grows, and we're growing one in science, aren't we? And in the story there's a huge beanstalk that takes Jack up to the clouds. Strange. Strange. What does strange mean? Yeah, it means when something's a little bit weird or something's happening that's not quite normal. So it was strange when a giant beanstalk grew up to the clouds, because that doesn't happen normally. Okay, let's recap a few sounds. Okay, what's this sound here? Or, fantastic. What's this one here? Good. What's this one here? Air. Good. And what's this one here? I think this one's still to come. This one's ow. Good. Okay, and some tricky red words that we're going to be writing in our story, okay? So this one says his. Good. They. Fantastic. Were. And he. Well done. Okay, so let's recap the actions for the beginning of the story. Let's retell it. So my turn, then your turn, okay? Once upon a time, a boy called Jack and his mother were so poor they never had enough to eat. Full stop. One day, comma, Jack sold his cow in exchange for 5 magic beans. Full stop. And this one here. When Jack got home, he was in trouble. Big trouble. Full stop. This one here. Jack's mother was furious, so she threw the beans out of the window. Full stop. And this last one here. In the morning, Jack looked outside of his window and saw a giant beanstalk, so tall it touched the sky. Full stop. And that is the beginning of our story. Oh, okay. So now it's your turn, okay? Let's do it together. 1, once through with you and me, okay? So, are you ready? Once upon a time, a boy called Jack and his mother were so poor they never had enough to eat. Full stop. This one here. One day, comma, Jack sold his cow in exchange for 5 magic beans. Full stop. Are you joining in? This one here. Okay, when Jack got home, he was in trouble. Big trouble. Full stop. Good. This one here. Jack's mother was furious, so she threw the beans out of the window. Full stop. Good. And last sentence, this one. In the morning, Jack looked outside of his window and saw a giant beanstalk, so tall it touched the sky. Full stop. Well done. Hopefully that's going to help you write your story. So if you need to go back and watch me doing it again to remember the words of the story, then that's absolutely fine. You can do that, okay? So let me stop sharing my screen. And now we're going to write the first 2 sentences together, okay? Remember to use your sound mat to figure out any sounds that you need to know, okay? First things first, let's write the title. Our title is Jack and the Beanstalk, isn't it? Okay, and it says it right there. So you write yours and I'll write mine. Jack and the Beanstalk, okay? Capital letter. Jack, finger space, and finger space, the beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk. Okay, right, now pause me if you need more time for that title. Then it's going to be my turn to write and then your turn. Okay, so what was the first part of the story again? This part here. Can you remember? Do you remind me? Let's do it together. Once upon a time, a boy called Jack and his mother were so poor they never had enough to eat. Full stop. Okay, so once upon a time. Let's start with that. Okay. Capital letter, yeah? Once upon, up, on, up, on, once upon a time, finger space, time, once upon a time, a boy called Jack. Okay, let's stick with that. Remind me, a boy called Jack. A boy called Jack. A boy. Boy. A boy called Jack. Boy called Jack. So we know how to spell Jack because it's on our story map. boy called Jack. Boy called Jack. Once upon a time, a boy called Jack and his mother, okay, and his mother. Remember that? Okay, Jack and his mother. And his. Now, his was one of our tricky red words that we recapped today, so I'm going to write it in red. His. And his mother. Once upon a time, a boy called Jack and his mother were so poor they never had enough to eat. Okay, were was another one of our tricky red words. Yep. Were so poor they never had enough to eat. Work, finger space. So poor. Now remember, or, yeah, like door. They never had enough to eat. They never had enough to eat. Never had enough to eat. Never had, finger space, enough to eat. Eat. Full stop. Okay. Do you see how that took me a long time and I'm a grown-up? So this is going to take you a while, okay? But I really want you to work hard at making sure you've got all your capital letters and your full stops and your finger spaces, and that you really tell the story. Don't skip words because you think that you want to make your sentence shorter, okay? Really remember all of the story and tell the story, okay? I'm going to do one more sentence with you, okay? What was it again? Let's recap. One day, comma, Jack sold his cow in exchange for 5 magic beans, full stop. Okay, so one day, it's a new sentence, so we're going to start with what? Capital letter, good. One day. Day. Comma. Comma. Don't forget the comma. Jack. Can you remind me? One day, Jack, comma, whoops, Jack sold his cow. Sold his cow. Finger space. Sold his, red word, remember you can't sound it out. Cow we can sound out though. Cow. Cow for 5 magic beans. Or, yeah, or 5, 5 magic beans. B full stop. Okay, do you see how long that took me? Yeah, it is a big ask what I'm asking you to do. I would like you to please write those 2 sentences and then all the way up to when Jack looked outside in the morning. Jack looked outside his window and saw a giant beanstalk so tall it touched the sky. Full stop. Then you're going to stop there, and tomorrow we will be writing more of the story. Okay, so this needs to be your absolute best work. Okay, do you see how neat and how hard I worked on that? And it took me a long time, but it's a beautiful piece of writing. That's what I want from you. Okay, you need to keep that piece of work safe because tomorrow we'll be writing the middle of the story. Okay, well done, fantastic work. Off you go and write that story. Rewatch me if you need to help you with the words. Okay, bye Dyson, good luck.